Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning. I pray and I hope that all is well with you. I'm doing fine. Wow, there's so much to talk about. I would like to. I don't think that I've ever done a video about a movie. I would like to talk about the movie The Woman King with Viola Davis. I I saw the movie twice with my son. We went, and the first, I, I'm making comments. I'm amazed as an African black woman to see so the backlash online, the people saying that you should not go see it, you should not. Okay, I heard an argument saying that it's not a true story, it's a fiction with a few historical elements, such as the king, the character of that king, he really existed. But if a story happened in 18 something, that was a long time ago, it's virtually impossible to have the same people, the same characters, the same, and to be able to come up and weave a story with only people who existed. So there's such a thing that we call artistic freedom, where as a writer, as a script writer, I write a lot. That's why I'm talking about this. You can take a real person, and then create something, a story about that person to add and to give more volume to your story. It's not illegal. It's called artistic freedom. The second portion, I heard many African American men saying that the movie is not respecting African American men. It's showing them in a position that the woman is elevated and men are brought down, like lower, and that's not nice, or that's not right. I get it. They're so. We could be talking for 2 hours, 2 days here, talking just about issues and problems that African American men are facing, obstacles that are standing on their way, or adversity attacking them. It's really a serious topic that we should not take lightly. But having said that, those Dahomey women, when I was growing up in Africa, we talked about them. They existed, a battalion of women who were fixed warriors, who they were not scared. They would go to war. Really attack, to the point that they fought the French, because Dahomey became a French colony. They speak French like we do in the Congo. In my Congo, both Congo actually are French-speaking countries. So when they fought the French, they really vanquished them, the French army. That what the survivor, those who escaped, the French soldiers, lied that they fought very tall women, giant women. But it was an excuse. Men who were vanquished by women, African women, primitive women, that they came up with an excuse saying that we just fought with giants. They were not giants, they were just regular height women. So we all know, we in Africa, maybe for you guys on this side, it's a novelty or something new that you didn't know, but we all heard about the Dahomey, Abomey, the name of the kingdom changed. Like in my country too, we went through changes, the name gets to change. So they were Abomey, they became Dahomey, and they had many kings. Some were good, some were bad, like everywhere. And slavery was really, let's talk about that. Slavery for 400, 500 years was an evil that is beyond description, an evil that is not to be taken lightly, because we are still paying the aftermath. We Africans, for those of us who were born and brought up on the African continent, we were affected by it one way. if you go to Brazil, if you go to Jamaica, if you go to Bahamas, we black people, none of us can say that I'm fine. Slavery didn't affect me. It did. Colonialism, imperialism, all those evil, those ism that came, and they damaged us. I'm saying it because, like I always said, Africa is my turf of responsibility, my jurisdiction. So we were all affected by that. So slavery is not a joke. Excuses, repentance, apologies, and regrets must be voiced many times in the realm of the living so that it will affect the spiritual realm, because we are paying the price on the natural side and then on the spiritual side also. So we cannot ignore that. I'm dealing with both. So slavery was evil. I heard people saying that this movie is romanticizing slavery. No, it's not. It didn't. I watched the movie twice. Like I told you, I don't see that. That king really existed, and yes, that king, like many kings on the west side, were slave traders. It's not a secret for anyone. That's the truth. So we had characters in the movies that were real and others that were supporting characters. They didn't exist, but they make the story beautiful and palatable. So the last portion, no, not the last. I love the fact that this movie didn't come to belittle Africans or show Africa in a bad way, like dirty people, non-hygienic, and this and that and that. I like that. That was my main worry, and I really appreciate what the team did with the director, Gina Prince Bythewood. I've been watching her. To me, I'm discovering her. I saw the previous movies that she directed, but I didn't connect it with her for some reasons. I don't know why, but she did a very good job, and I like the way she portrayed Africans and Africa. And then I heard that I saw on Instagram that 2 white women wrote the novel, and then the script came from that. But that's not a problem, because who wrote Black Panther? Who wrote Mulan? Who wrote all these movies that are that cater to one ethnic group, but that if you're a good writer, I could write a book about the royal family in England. I could. You just gather the information and you can do it. So that, to me, is not a problem. I was shocked by the amount of bile, of hatred. It is hatred, let's call it by its name, that is directed to Viola and the cast and the director. But you might not want to see the movie and say, I will not go see it. This is a free country. But why go make videos for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just criticizing, saying bad things about the movie? That's really amazing to me. You have so much energy and time to waste. If you don't want to go see the movie, fine, don't go. Or if African history doesn't appeal to you because of that slavery factor and the fact that it's ugly, but it's our past, we cannot ignore it. We cannot play the ostrich and pretend that, I didn't know, I never saw it. We cannot do that. So let's hold the bull by its horn and confront this ugliness, and let's talk about it instead of being bitter and trying to bring down a label, because I'm not an actress. I can only imagine. I saw the trailers, I saw the interviews, the way those fight scenes, they were beautifully done. That sunset, it gave me nostalgia. I wanted to go back home. The sunset differently over there. The colors are more vivid, like you saw in the movies. So anyway, so I didn't understand that, and Now, what I didn't like is the blood oath. When the warriors are cutting themselves and they have a blood oath. That concept of blood oath, I don't know where it comes from, but it's not of God, not the true living God. We see it in Rome, we see it in Greece, we see it in every civilization that came one after another, one after another. So it's not a problem that only Black Africa has. It's a problem that, like I told you, I don't know where it started, and I cannot even research it unless the Holy Spirit gives me the right information, because I don't think that Google can answer this one. So the thing is, a blood oath, it's very bad. You don't do a blood oath. You don't. But then again, those women, the Amazon, they took an oath not to be married, which they weren't, not to produce babies, which they didn't. So, because when you do a blood oath, you create a new stream of one bloodline with another one, and it becomes something else. And the spiritual consequences and connotations are not good in the context of the Bible. You don't do that. So blood oaths are not good. I would never do one. I recommend to you, you might fall in love madly with the man of your life, but don't do a blood oath. It's very dangerous. It entails so many things. Maybe I will do another video just about that. So I didn't like that concept. I didn't like, it is true what they showed that altar, the little houses, they are short hut. They have names. I will not tell you how we call them in my turf of Africa. But we all know, as soon as you see that, you know what's going on. Ancestor worship, that's an altar. That's a place where you go give offering and libations to your people, to your deceased ones, your loved ones who passed away. They cross to the other side. They are no longer living. So that I didn't like. We have one in my village. The king, who is my brother, is the one talking to them, on behalf of the people. So that I didn't like because of my views, because of my new perspective about God the Creator, about talking to the dead, which is necromancy, and all that. So that part I didn't like. Because it's like bringing up ancestor worship to the forefront, like we need to worship our dead. No, we don't. But I already did so many videos about it. I'm not going to go back for the sake of this video. The time. I don't want to be too long. So that's what I didn't like about the movie, that message. But everything else, and I heard a white man, he was saying that Africa was not treating women very well. So it's impossible to have had a battalion of women. That's not true. We didn't have feminism in Africa. I've never lived in West Africa. I'm from Central Africa, the heart. Women are treated very differently than you men in Europe. The relationship that white men and white women have is not the same. In Africa, we are different. Yes, we do have polygamy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the respect and consideration. I'm talking about the way women held their place in the court, and the king will talk to warriors, male, and then he will turn to female to have both perspective, then come up with a final decision and then attack or whatever the decision might be. So women in Africa were not regarded. I think you for those who think that, have Islam in mind, but in a typical African setting, African men respect women. African men are very stable in the way they treat their women, and it's a give and take. It's a give and take. So that's what I wanted to talk about the movie, but I really enjoyed it as a cinematographic 2 hours, went by very fast. I enjoyed the movie. There were places where my emotions, I was sad, and then you feel joy. We are warriors too, where we come from, so my blood was boiling. I enjoyed the movie, they did a good job, and I highly recommend the movie. And you don't take your theology from a movie, you don't, it's just a movie. It's just a movie, and no need to be bitter and mean one to another, like one group of black people toward another group. I saw so many evil things. These people that are saying we are FBAs, fundamentally black Americans. I heard about another group called ADOS, African descendant of slaves. There is such a bitterness that comes from those two groups, if you ask me. And it's sad because who is benefiting from the division between African, which I am, and African American? Uh, and if you are African American and you think or you are persuaded that you didn't come from Africa, very good. If you are persuaded that you are Native American, because I know that we had here in this land black Native American. So if you are in that group, good for you. Do your research, try to find out where you came from. I would not recommend DNA because it's dangerous. What are they doing with your infos after they give you your report, you know? So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. I enjoyed the movie, I loved it, and I hope that Viola is going to get an Oscar for this one. Or Gina Price, Bytewood, she did a very good job. They deserve, should they be nominated, should they win, I will cheer for them. But they did a good job. And then in closing, as a dark complected woman or African woman, it was a joy, it was a treat to see dark black women who look African with beautiful feature, because for so long we were told that we are less than, we are an afterthought, we are this, we are that. So it's validated me to see. I would have hated to see a bunch of mixed people, light African, like a mixed, like we see on TV when you say a black actress. They are all ambiguous. You don't know. They have 3C, 4C hair. You don't know. You don't know. Anyway, that's my opinion about the movie. I really enjoyed it and I recommend it. So, bravo to the cast and to Viola Davis for the job that they did, and thank you for representing Africans and Africa in a good light. And yeah, God bless you.